Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can use Google Drawing. So you'll want to log into your Google Apps account and then make sure you're in your Google Drive. And we're going to go to the Create button. And instead of doing a document or presentation like we're used to, we're going to come all the way down to Drawing. And that's going to open up this canvas, this blank space where you can start your drawing. And I'm just going to point out a few tools for you. You have your Shape tool. And there's lots of different shapes that you can choose from, so you'll want to browse those a little bit. I'm just going to work on a silly drawing. So let's see, I'm going to make a face, and maybe I'll do a heart face. I just click and drag. And of course I want my heart to be a different color, so I'm going to select it by clicking on it. I know it's selected because it has this rectangle around it. And I'm going to make a red heart. And then I want to change this outline of the heart as well. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to change the line color by clicking on this pencil with the line. I'm going to make a lime green line around it. And I want it to be thicker, so right next to that we have our line weight, which is how thick our line is. I'm going to choose a much thicker line. You could also choose if you just wanted to have like a dotted line or a different type of line as well, but I'm going to stick with that regular line. Okay, so another thing that you might want to be able to do is to layer your shapes. So let's see, maybe I want to do an arrow into my heart, so I'm going to choose an arrow and I'm going to draw it like this. Okay, I can also change the size by grabbing these handles on the sides and just dragging them, these little rectangles, so I can make it the shape that I want. If I want to rotate it or turn it, I can click on this little circle at the top and I can turn it. So I can make a little, let's see, I want it to be a little bit shorter. Okay, and then I want to change the color again by coming over here, and I'll choose kind of a brown color. Okay. Now maybe I want to make two arrows going through. I want them to look exactly the same. Another thing that you can do is you can click on a shape, and then you can either right click and do copy, or you can do Control C and then Control V, and that will copy and paste your objects. Okay. Now maybe I actually want one of these arrows to go behind the heart. So I don't want it to be on top of it, I want it to be behind it. To do that, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to look at my order. So if I brought it to the front, it's already at the very, very top. I want to send it to the back. So if I click on send it to the back, now it's behind my heart. Okay, so you can reorder things if you want to. Another thing I'm going to show you is the line tool. And you can draw just straight lines, and again you can make them thicker if you want to, and you can change their color really easily. You can also do an arrow, or you can actually add an arrow end to any line. So if I wanted to make an arrow that way, I could do that. Okay. Another type of line is your curved line. So if I do that, and I click, it's going to create a curve. Everywhere I click, it's going to create a curve. So that can be kind of a fun tool to make your own shapes. And then I can rejoin them at the end. And I can actually fill them and do all those fun things that way, so that you can have some fun with. A polyline is you can make your own polygon. So you're just going to click to make your corners. And then eventually you'll want to close your. The final one I want to show you is if you come up to your line tool, you have your scribble tool, which is basically you can just free draw. So if you want to create some sort of free drawing, you can do that. And then it actually just becomes a shape that you could move around as well. You can change the thickness or the color of that line too. So those are our different line tools. If you wanted to add any kind of text, you can do it with a text box. So You can do a text box that's really simple. I can double click on it. I can change the font if I want to. I can change the size if I want it to be larger. Of course, I can change the color, all those good things. Another option is to insert a word art. And if I do that, it's going to be more of a block letter. And you can again continue to change your fonts to whatever you like. And you can also change the fill color and the line color of that. So I can also change the color that's around it. Okay. Before you're done, or even before you begin, right when you get started, you'll want to definitely come up and give your drawing a title, name it something. So I'm going to come up to this part that says Untitled Drawing, and I'm just going to name it, I'll name it Hello Heart, and say OK. And now it's actually in my Google Drive already. I can use it to embed in a Google site, or I could even download it if I wanted to as an image, as a picture, if I wanted to use it for something else. That's a great tool that you can use to create your own drawings.